Ghosts of Salisbury Plain. Dusk. The last light of day sweeps gently across the endless fields of Salisbury, England. In the mist that seems to breathe from the earth and sky, the giant stones suddenly appear, silent, cold, like eternal sentinels of a secret that has been buried for millennia. Don't let the like button be lonely. Don't let the share button wither. And don't let the subscribe button wait for you forever. Stonehenge. No sign, no explanation can truly clarify what our eyes are witnessing. The huge stones, each weighing tens of tons, are arranged in strange circles and horseshoe shapes. Standing before them, modern man feels only small and suspicious. Who built this wonder? And for what purpose? The mist thickens. A cold wind blows through the cracks in the rocks. In that moment, time seemed to stand still, and a whisper echoed from the ancient earth. Do you dare to learn about the secrets that history itself has deliberately forgotten? Stonehenge is more than just an ancient structure. It is a door, a key to a knowledge that humanity has yet to grasp. For centuries, countless archaeologists, astronomers, and mystics have sought to solve it. But each time they thought they had touched the truth, the mystery became deeper and deeper, like a bottomless abyss. An impossible structure? Imagine, some 5,000 years ago, when the wheel was a new invention, when metal was not yet common, some ancient people were able to transport 25-ton blocks of stone from mountains more than 200 kilometers away, across hills, forests, rivers, and build them into a mathematically and astronomically perfect structure. How did they do it? With crude stone tools, bare hands and bare muscles? Or did they hold some secret that we have lost forever? Many scholars have tried to simplify Stonehenge as a memorial to ancestors, a place of harvest sacrifice, or a solar observatory. But each theory is just a tiny fragment in the face of a much grander picture. Stonehenge refuses to be easily defined. Crazy theories, and they make more sense. Some believe that Stonehenge was the work of the druids, powerful priests who controlled nature. Some swear that it was the work of a prehistoric civilization that vanished from the face of the earth. And others whisper in Welsh pubs, Stonehenge was built by creatures that don't belong on this planet. Science tries to explain Stonehenge with numbers, measurements, and theories. But there's something in our minds, deep in our primal subconscious, that feels unnerving, as if the stones are whispering something in a lost language, the language of the stars, of the earth, of time itself. A map of the sky? Notice, on the summer solstice, as the sun rises, the first rays of sunlight will shine through Stonehenge's main entrance and illuminate the largest stone, the heel stone. Is this just coincidence? Or was this a structure designed with deep astronomical knowledge to synchronize human breathing with the pulse of the universe? If so, who or what imparted that knowledge to the builders of Stonehenge? A journey through time. Picture this: a group of people 5 millennia ago, silently dragging giant stones across streams, through bogs, through the heavy mud of prehistoric Britain. They had no wheels, no metal, no engines. Only faith, some kind of strong belief, made them willing to sacrifice their lives to complete a project that they themselves might never see finished. What call do they hear in the wind? Who are they trying to communicate with? The gods, the stars, or the distant future of mankind? And the biggest mystery, why did the civilization that built Stonehenge seem to disappear? We invite you to embark on a journey to explore Stonehenge, a project that challenges all limits of understanding. A message written in stone for those patient and eager enough to decipher. A mystery that may never be fully revealed. Are you ready? The door between the past and the present is about to open. Chapter 1. Stonehenge, the giant stone in the moor. As the morning mist clears over the vast fields of Salisbury, an image emerges from the empty grasslands. Giant stones standing tall, defying time and space, like fossilized souls from a distant world. Stonehenge, even in the light of day, exudes something supernatural. They're not just random rocks piled on top of each other. No, they have order. They have purpose. They have soul. the stone painting. As you get closer, you will realize that Stonehenge is actually a complex of layers of stones arranged in concentric circles, interspersed with pairs of upright stones supporting heavy crossbars. Some of the stones have collapsed over the years. Others still stand firmly in their original positions as steadfast witnesses. There are 3 different types of stones in Stonehenge. Sarsens, the largest stones, each weighing 20 to 30 tons, standing about 4 meters high and forming the main circle. Blue stones, smaller stones, believed to have been brought all the way from the Prehistoric Mountains in Wales, some 250 kilometers away. Lintels, heavy horizontal bars, perfectly balanced atop pairs of vertical stones. The mere act of moving these stones would be enough to leave modern engineers scratching their heads. But what's even more amazing is that the joints between the stones, where the bars rest on the vertical columns, are incredibly well made, like carpentry joints, but made of stone as hard as steel. The question is, how? The incredible stages of construction. Archaeological studies show that Stonehenge was not built overnight. It was formed in several stages, spanning over 1,500 years. Stonehenge c. 3,100 BC, a large circular moat was dug around the site, forming the first circle. Burial pits were found in this moat. Stonehenge c. 2,900 to 2,600 BC wooden posts were erected, a wooden draft before Stonehenge was dressed in stone. Stonehenge c. 2,600 to 1,600 BC, huge blocks of sarsen and bluestone were dragged and arranged into the form we see today. 1,500 years of construction. A staggering number. Imagine, a child is born in the village, grows up, grows old, and dies, and Stonehenge remains unfinished. Generation after generation, all of them committed to this huge dream. That can only happen if behind this work there is a burning faith, a purpose beyond common understanding. Primitive technology, supernatural results. How do they do it? Current theories suggest that the ancients used wooden rollers to transport the stones. But the problem is, there were not many large trees in Salisbury at that time. They may have had to transport these stones on rafts across rivers and streams, then drag them through the muddy swamps. Modern experimental engineers believe that it took thousands of people working together to complete the transport of a single stone. But that doesn't explain everything. How could such heavy stones be lifted and placed precisely on the uprights, forming complete stone arches? With just a little deviation, the entire structure would collapse. Some researchers, seemingly unable to bear this absurdity, have exclaimed, perhaps the builders of Stonehenge had technologies that we cannot even imagine today. A perfect orientation system. Stonehenge is not just a random pile of stones. The entire structure is aligned on a northeast-southwest axis, which coincides almost perfectly with the sunrise on the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, and the sunset on the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. The precision of this orientation cannot be accidental. It requires long-term astronomical observations, sophisticated measuring skills, and a deep understanding of the movements of celestial bodies. So, were the builders of Stonehenge, were they simple country folk, or were they astronomers, bearers of the knowledge of the stars? Hidden secrets. Just beneath Stonehenge, modern radar surveys have uncovered buried structures, moats, pits, and even wooden circles that have rotted for thousands of years. Stonehenge appears to be just the tip of a much larger ceremonial network. Experts call it a sacred landscape, an area of hundreds of acres where every flowing water and rolling hill may have had a mysterious sacred meaning. Stonehenge, then, is more than just a structure. It is part of a cosmic system, a map in stone depicting the connection between heaven, earth, and humanity. And an unanswered question, when you stand in the middle of Stonehenge, if you are quiet enough, you can feel something, not by ear, not by eye, but by intuition. A sense of greatness that words cannot describe. A greatness that we are both afraid of and fascinated by. Who built Stonehenge? Why did they pour all their heart energy, and life into those silent stones. Perhaps, as one hypothesis whispers, Stonehenge is not just for humans, but for something higher, farther beyond our understanding. This chapter 2 will go into ancient hypotheses. Who built Stonehenge? Neolithic people? Druids? Merlin the Wizard? Or supernatural forces? Chapter 2. Ancient hypotheses. Stonehenge, throughout its thousands of years of existence, has become the focus of countless hypotheses, legends, and mystical beliefs. Each generation, each civilization that passes by, leaves behind its own stories, trying to explain the presence of this great work. But like a maze with no exit, the deeper we go into Stonehenge, the more strange turns we get lost in. 1. Neolithic people, forgotten geniuses? The first hypothesis, and also the most orthodox hypothesis according to archaeologists, is that Stonehenge was built by Neolithic people around 3,100 to 1,600 years BC. They were the first farming communities in England, living in simple huts made of mud and wood. They knew nothing of the wheel. They knew nothing of metal. Their tools were made of stone, bone, and crude wood. And yet, they built Stonehenge. How could these primitive people move dozens of tons of stones, arranging them into a complex astronomical structure with such precision that thousands of years later, they still match the movements of the sun and moon? That question hangs in the air like a speck of dust that never falls to the ground. Some scientists believe that these people possessed an ancient form of knowledge, perhaps lost, a science that today we have no clue about except these silent rocks. Or in other words, they may not have been the stupid, prehistoric people we mistakenly believe. They were forgotten geniuses. 2. The Druids, guardians of the gates of heaven? A more romantic, but also mysterious theory links Stonehenge to the Druids, the priests and magicians of the ancient Celtic civilization. According to ancient Roman epics, the Druids were the keepers of the secrets of heaven and earth. They were healers, astrologers, philosophers, and magicians, all in one. They worshipped the sun, the moon, and the forces of nature, performing mystical rituals under sacred groves or giant stone circles. Stonehenge, with its structure revolving around celestial movements, seems to be the greatest altar to the Druids. However, there's a problem. Archaeological evidence shows that the Druids only appeared around 300 BC, that is, more than 2,000 years after Stonehenge was built. Did the Druids not build Stonehenge, but inherit it? Use it as a sacred place of worship, continuing the secrets that even they themselves do not fully understand? Ancient legends say that on special days like the summer solstice, the Druids performed rituals of human sacrifice between the cold stones, praying for good harvests and longevity. Could it be that the blood that once flowed down to the foot of Stonehenge seeped into the ground, becoming a permanent part of this place? 3. Merlin, magician and seeker. In British legend, the name Merlin is associated with mystical power. Merlin, advisor to King Arthur, the supreme magician who holds knowledge beyond the times. A strange story told by Geoffrey of Monmouth in the 12th century in his Historia Regum Britanniae, History of the Kings of England, says, Stonehenge was Merlin's masterpiece. He himself used magic to pluck huge stones from Mount Killarowes in Ireland, fly them across the sea, and place them on Salisbury Plain. Merlin turned Stonehenge into a memorial to the British soldiers who were betrayed and massacred in a bloody battle. Of course, from a historical perspective, this story has no clear evidence. But let's put logic aside for a moment and consider. In the world of Stonehenge, where the stones defy all natural laws, a magical explanation sometimes makes more sense. Is Merlin more than just a character in legend? Does he represent an ancient mystical stream of knowledge, a stream that has been lost but was once present here? 4. Extraterrestrials, builders from the stars. One theory that many people are fascinated by is that Stonehenge was created by extraterrestrials. This theory suggests that Neolithic people, with their primitive tools, could not have built a complex structure like Stonehenge without the help of higher beings. the aliens may have landed in the deserted Salisbury area, using technology far beyond our imagination to build Stonehenge as an astronomical communication station, a cosmic portal, or even a giant energy device. Ufologists point out that many ancient stone circles around the world, from Stonehenge in England to Karnak in France to Nabta Playa in Egypt, have strange coincidences in their astronomical alignment. If so, Stonehenge is dry and is just a place of worship or sunrise observation. It could be part of an ancient cosmic network connecting extraterrestrial civilizations to our planet. A chilling prospect. 5. A legacy from Atlantis? Another theory, full of romance, but also full of haunting. Stonehenge is the last remnant of the lost civilization of Atlantis. Atlantis, a mythical city where humans once lived with the gods, possessing technology far beyond the era. When Atlantis sank to the bottom of the sea, a few survivors took their knowledge with them, reconstructing memories of the glorious city in the form of stone structures, Stonehenge being one of them. If this theory is correct, Stonehenge is more than just a magnificent structure. It is a silent reminder of the arrogance and destruction of a civilization that once reached its brilliant peak, then collapsed in disaster. 6. Or a secret that humans are not yet ready to understand. Finally, there's a less talked about, but more haunting theory. Stonehenge was not built for modern humans to understand. It could be a message to the future, a map, a portal, or a warning that only when humanity reaches a higher level of awareness will we be able to decipher. For now, we are only scratching the surface of that mystery, like children lost in an ancient labyrinth, holding a tattered map in their hands, vaguely searching for light. This chapter will go into the latest archaeological discoveries, the pieces that are truly making the world wonder about Stonehenge. Chapter 3. Latest archaeological discoveries. If Stonehenge were a giant book made of stone, then for centuries we would have read only a few scattered lines. But then, thanks to the development of science and technology, ground-penetrating radar, ancient DNA analysis, carbon dating techniques, those stone pages began to reveal more profound secrets. And what was found made Stonehenge even more mysterious than ever. 1. The Great Radar Map Project. What is hidden underground? In 2015, an international team of archaeologists scanned the entire area around Stonehenge using ground-penetrating radar. The results stunned the world. A vast network of deep pits, ditches, and buried wooden and stone structures were discovered. 17 previously unknown sites, including other stone circles, mass burial sites, and mysterious ritual structures. Stonehenge, it turns out, is not a single structure. It is part of a mega-ceremonial complex, stretching for kilometers, linked by underground corridors and hidden passages. A spiritual city? A regional ceremonial center? Or a portal to another world? Archaeologists could only stand in awe of its enormous scale. 2. Dington Walls, the city of the Stonehenge builders? Just 3 kilometers from Stonehenge is Dington Walls, one of the largest earthen moats in Europe. Recent excavations have revealed Dington Walls was once a huge settlement, capable of housing thousands of people. Traces of wooden houses, animal bones, and pottery shards have been found, all of which indicate that a thriving community once lived here. Archaeologists believe that Dington Walls may have been the home of the people who built Stonehenge. But here's the strange thing. They didn't live long. Any traces of habitation lasted only a short time, right when Stonehenge was being built. Then they disappeared. There's no evidence of destruction, disease, or catastrophe. A community of thousands of people suddenly vanished into thin air, as if they had come here with only one mission: to build Stonehenge and then leave. Where and why? No one knows. 3. Is Stonehenge older than we thought? Charcoal samples and stone tools found around the Stonehenge area have been dated using the carbon-14 method. The results have forced archaeologists to rewrite history. Stonehenge was not built in one go, but in several stages, spanning nearly 1,500 years. The smaller blue stones, which were determined to have been in place about 500 years before the largest sarsen stones were erected. This has led to a surprising hypothesis. Perhaps an even older Stonehenge existed before the Stonehenge we know today. A first Stonehenge, smaller, more primitive, was where prehistoric people began to experiment with ideas about the universe, the divine, and immortality. But for some reason, they destroyed it to build a larger Stonehenge, more solid, as a sacred oath to the gods. 4. The bodies buried with secrets. For many years, the small graves around Stonehenge were quietly hidden under thick grass. But when archaeologists excavated, they discovered hundreds of skeletons, both adults and children, strange anatomical traces, intact broken bones, signs of ancient surgery. Some of the bodies bore traces of ritual injuries, such as being stabbed, cut in ritual postures. Most notably, in a nearby grave, archaeologists found the remains of a teenager from the Mediterranean region, more than 2,500 kilometers from Stonehenge. Isotope analysis suggests that the young man traveled for months, perhaps to attend a ritual or a holy ceremony, before finally being laid to rest there. Stonehenge, apparently, was a pilgrimage center. People from all over ancient Europe came to it, hoping to tap into some kind of sacred power. 5. Incredibly accurate astronomical signals. When the sun rises on the summer solstice, June 21st, the longest day of the year, it shines through the avenue leading into the center of Stonehenge in a perfectly straight line. Similarly, on the winter solstice, December 21st, the sun sets right between Stonehenge's two large stones. This arrangement cannot be accidental. Modern research shows that Stonehenge is not only related to the sun, but also has complex correlations with the lunar cycle, constellations, and rare astronomical phenomena, such as solar and lunar eclipses. We are looking at a stone observatory, a giant astronomical machine built thousands of years ago by an intelligence far beyond the skepticism of that era. Stonehenge, a secret that reveals, becomes deeper. Each archaeological discovery seems to shed a new light on the darkness of the past. But at the same time, it also opens up new, deeper, more haunting questions. Who designed this astronomical system? Why was it necessary to spend so much effort to build such a great, expensive structure, just to watch the moments of the sun and the moon? Is there some knowledge, some message, embedded in these stones that we still cannot understand? Stonehenge still stands there, defiant against the years, as a guardian of the last secrets of time. Chapter 4. Unsolved Mysteries, Modern Conspiracy Theories. If the silent stones of Stonehenge could speak, perhaps they would reveal a story that humans have never dared to imagine. In the thick darkness of history, when mainstream science has not been able to illuminate every corner, hypotheses, bold guesses, have sprouted and spread like a fever. And they have one thing in common. All believe that Stonehenge is not just an observatory or a temple to the gods, but something much bigger and more terrifying. 1. An ancient time travel machine? Some outside researchers have come up with a shocking hypothesis. Stonehenge is an ancient time travel device. This idea may sound like science fiction, but it is based on mysterious phenomena. The stones are arranged in orbits that are closely related to the space-time shift according to Einstein's theory. Some simulation models show that the magnetic energy around Stonehenge at the summer and winter solstices spikes abnormally. Ancient folk tales from the Salisbury Plain area tell of shadows disappearing into the stones, or strange journeys without a trace. If Stonehenge is a kind of time portal, was it built to go to the past, to the future, or to connect to another dimension? No one can confirm, but the idea still burns in the most daring imaginations. 2. Alien base. More and more UFO and paranormal researchers believe that Stonehenge is an alien contact station. Their arguments are based on inexplicable details. The 4-ton blue stones were transported from Wales, 240 kilometers away from Stonehenge. How? Dragging, sledding, or levitating? The astronomical precision of Stonehenge far exceeds the mathematical capabilities of Stone Age people. A number of unusual radio signals have been recorded from the Stonehenge area, but the source could not be determined. Even more chilling claims. Some witnesses claim to have seen strange lights and unseen figures moving around the area at night. Some psychics say they have sensed the presence of non-human intelligence at the site. Was Stonehenge built at the direction of the star gods, as lighthouses marking important energy points on Earth? 3. The gate to the otherworld? One of the strangest, yet most haunting theories. Stonehenge was a spiritual gateway, a place where the souls of the dead could cross the boundary between life and death. Archaeological evidence suggests that the ancient tombs around Stonehenge were mostly for specially chosen individuals, perhaps chieftains, priests, or figures with sacred duties. Stonehenge's alignment perfectly aligns with the rising sun on the summer solstice, a symbol of rebirth. Many ritual traces found around the area suggest necromancy, soul journeys, and reincarnation into the otherworld. According to ancient beliefs, the winter solstice represents death, the sun dies. The summer solstice represents new life. The sun is reborn. Stonehenge, with its structure, is like a ritual machine that controls the soul's journey through the layers of the universe. 4. The game of a lost civilization? Another theory: the deeper you dig, the more creepy it becomes. Stonehenge is the remaining legacy of a superior civilization, erased from human history. Proponents of this theory believe that, about 12,000 years ago, Earth once had extremely advanced civilizations, but they were destroyed by natural disasters, perhaps a great flood or a meteorite impact. Some structures like the pyramids of Giza, the Sphinx, and Stonehenge are monuments left behind, built by survivors to record their knowledge. Stonehenge, in this view, is not just a temple, not just an observatory, but a piece of an ancient cosmological map, a distress signal sent in desperation. We, the ones who are thousands of years behind, are trying to piece together the fragments of a great message. But do we still have the wisdom to understand? Stonehenge, whisper of an unnamed secret. Each stone, each shadow, each gap between those great pillars seems to whisper something, a quiet but persistent truth existing beyond our small understanding. Perhaps Stonehenge is a door that has never been opened, a question that has never been answered, a message waiting for a mind strong enough to read it. And perhaps Stonehenge still stands, not to reveal its secrets, but to challenge us, the dreamers, the skeptics, and the seekers. Because sometimes it is the mystery, not the answers, that is the greatest gift the ancients left us. Of course, we will delve into the mysterious stories and paranormal studies at Stonehenge, where unexplained phenomena have taken place. Chapter 5: Paranormal Studies, Mysterious Experiments and Experiences at Stonehenge. Under the starry sky of Salisbury Plain, Stonehenge still stands, not only an archaeological site, but also a great monument to supernatural phenomena and mysterious experiments. Over the centuries, many people have experimented, studied, and experienced strange things here. But each time, they feel an inexplicable presence, and the events that occur seem to defy all natural laws. 1. Disappearing electronic devices, digital chaos. In 1971, a research team from the University of London came to Stonehenge with a clear goal: to analyze the magnetic and energy waves surrounding the stones. Despite their careful preparation, they could not have predicted the strange events that would follow. Magnetic field measurements. The modern electronic equipment that the team brought with them began to behave strangely as soon as they approached the Stonehenge area. The magnetic field meters began to fluctuate and their signals disappeared. Some devices even failed to work despite being thoroughly tested beforehand. Camera interference. Video cameras, especially modern ones, were constantly experiencing interference, with images becoming blurry or completely losing signal when pointed at the large stones. radio signals disappeared. Another team experimented with radio signals from a distance and discovered that radio signals could not travel through the Stonehenge area. The signals emitted by their devices completely disappeared when passing a certain zone around stones. When the team left the area, the equipment began to function normally again, and they could not find a reasonable explanation for these strange phenomena. Why, in the middle of this wild nature, is there a space where all modern equipment is paralyzed? Is the latent energy at Stonehenge reacting to these electronic devices? Or is it some kind of invisible radiation that humans cannot understand? 2. Strange experiences, ghosts in shortened time. One of the most famous mysterious stories about Stonehenge comes not from scientific research, but from people who came here and experienced what they believe to be supernatural phenomena. Ghosts and strange figures. In 1996, a group of tourists from the United States decided to camp near the Stonehenge area on a cold autumn night. While sitting around the campfire, they began to feel an unusual coldness surrounding the area. One of them, Linda, recounted, "Suddenly, I felt like someone was standing next to me. But when I looked around, it was just us in the dark. Then I turned around and saw a shadowy figure moving around the stones. A cold feeling ran down my spine. I can't explain it, but I felt like I was standing in a trance, as if I had entered another dimension." Linda was not the only one to have this strange experience. Several others in the group also reported seeing shadowy figures in the area around Stonehenge. And every time they looked at them, time seemed to slow down. Time shortened. Another visitor, David, had an even more bizarre experience. During his daytime visit to Stonehenge, he lost track of time. He recounted, "We arrived at 2 p.m., but when I looked at my watch again, it was dark. Time passed so quickly that I couldn't explain it. Everything seemed to have stopped. I only remember standing in the middle of the stones and feeling like I was somewhere between the present and the past. I can't remember how long I was there, but when I left, it was dark." This only further strengthens the hypothesis of Stonehenge's interference with the perception of time. Perhaps this is a dimension that we cannot fully understand, where time no longer obeys the usual rules. 3. Supernatural forces, mysterious reactions. A special study conducted in 2007 by a team of researchers from the British Institute of Natural Sciences pointed out a supernatural phenomenon at Stonehenge that even modern science cannot explain. The team conducted a series of experiments with magnetic energy and quartz crystals around the area. The results were astonishing. Quartz crystals placed near the large stones of Stonehenge began to glow faintly at certain times of the day. Some researchers even suggest that this energy could be an invisible form of magnetic wave, capable of affecting electronic signals and even distorting time. Some believe that Stonehenge is a special place where magnetic energy or supernatural forces can interact, making it impossible for modern scientific experiments to explain. 4. Truths that are still waiting to be discovered. Despite all the research, experiments, and strange experiences, Stonehenge remains an unsolved mystery. The supernatural phenomena and scientific anomalies only add to the appeal of this place. Maybe, one day, we will find the answers to all these questions. Or maybe, Stonehenge is simply a place forever shrouded in mist, where humanity will never be able to fully understand. But until then, seekers will continue to come to this place. They will continue to experiment, continue to experience, and continue to search for the truth hidden deep within these ancient stones. With the latest discoveries and secret documents about Stonehenge, archaeological discoveries that have not been widely publicized. Chapter 6, Secret Discoveries and Documents. Clues from secret documents and unpublished archaeological discoveries. For centuries, Stonehenge has attracted the attention of archaeologists, researchers, and mystery enthusiasts. However, there are discoveries that have never been made public or are hidden under layers of secrecy. These documents, although rare, have shed new light on the true purpose of Stonehenge and the untold stories behind the great stones. 1. Recent discoveries, mysterious sites around Stonehenge. In 2018, a team of archaeologists from the University of Birmingham and the University of Leicester announced a shocking discovery. A giant burial site was discovered not far from Stonehenge, just 3 kilometers away, in a long-forgotten area. The burial site contained relics unlike anything we have seen before in Stone Age burial sites. Unusual human remains. The remains buried here are strangely positioned and structured, and appear to belong to people of high social standing at the time. What is special is that these remains did not decompose in the usual way, but instead, they showed signs of being desiccated or preserved by a special method. It seems that they were preparing for a long journey, or even another journey. Strange relics. Objects such as circularly carved sticks, rare gemstones, and metal items have been discovered in the graves, and notably, some of them have shapes similar to the symbols on the stones of Stonehenge. Could these be items to help guide the souls on their journey? With this discovery, researchers have raised a big question. Did the people buried here participate in mystical rituals directly related to Stonehenge? And is this a spiritual system where souls are sent away through these complex rituals? 2. Secret documents. Things never revealed. In a mysterious situation, some secret documents from archaeological excavations conducted in the 1950s to 1960s were recently recovered and published by a research team. These documents, which were kept secret for decades, contain important clues that could change our entire view of Stonehenge. One of them is a report from a 1953 excavation near Stonehenge, which included analysis of soil texture and ancient tools. The most notable feature of the report is the discovery of a type of stone previously unknown in the area that emitted strange energy when exposed to sunlight. The report also states that these stones are not native to the area, but may have been brought from elsewhere. More surprisingly, the report also states that gold-plated items were found in the archaeological site, but they were hidden and not made public at the time. These items show traces of ancient rituals, possibly related to astrology or occult art. This information, when combined with recent research, opens a new door. Stonehenge may not only be an astronomical or religious monument, but may also contain secrets related to ancient civilizations that may possess knowledge that we have not yet been able to access. 3. Mysterious discoveries about the history of Stonehenge. A recent archaeological study at the Stonehenge area has revealed that the giant stones here were not always standing still as they are now. They may have been moved from another location, a location that may contain undiscovered mysteries. This discovery was made after researchers discovered a series of movement marks on the ground under the large stones, suggesting that they may have been transported by a mysterious method, a system of underground paths. One of the most notable discoveries was the discovery of a network of underground passages beneath the Stonehenge area, resembling ancient tunnels. These passages appear to have been built long before Stonehenge was built, and may be part of a larger system that we do not yet fully understand. Graphic art. Strange marks found on the stones also suggest that ancient carvings and symbols may have been carved into the stones at the site before they were erected in a circle. Could this be a form of hieroglyphic language that the ancients used to communicate messages to posterity? 4. Buried secrets. Can everything be discovered? With each discovery, the question arises again. Are there secrets yet to be revealed? Truths still hidden beneath this layer of earth? If new documents and discoveries can bring us closer to the truth, can we decipher all the messages hidden in the stones of Stonehenge? It seems that the answer is still beyond our reach. Amazing. Chapter 7 will delve into the rituals and supernatural events that took place at Stonehenge. This is where mystical stories and mystical rituals have been performed for centuries. We will explore supernatural phenomena, ancient rituals, and strange events that no one can explain. Chapter 7, Rituals and Supernatural Events. The mystery of the mysterious rituals at Stonehenge. Stonehenge, with its great stones and harmony with the sky, is more than just an archaeological site. It is a mystical map leading to the rituals and supernatural events that ancient civilizations performed. These rituals involved not only the worship of gods, but also rituals of communication with the universe and spirits, the journey of the soul through dimensions. From sun worship rituals to strange and unexplained phenomena, Stonehenge has always been a place to experience the mysterious relationship between humans and the universe. 1. Sun worship rituals, gateway between worlds. One of the widely accepted theories is that Stonehenge was built to worship the sun god. Archaeologists have discovered that the large stones of Stonehenge were purposefully placed, creating a perfect lighting trajectory on important days of the year, such as the summer solstice and spring equinox. Summer solstice, June 21st. On this day, sunlight shines through the stone gates, creating a golden effect as the light hits the stone circle, as if creating a gateway from the real world into a sacred realm. Studies show that this light is not just a simple astronomical phenomenon, but may be part of a sun worship ritual, where the participants of the ritual feel rebirth and life in harmony with nature. The appearance of darkness. Some ancient documents say that on these days, there were special rituals that took place at night, when darkness covered Stonehenge. These rituals were often related to ancestral spirits and communication with the souls of the dead. Witches and wizards of that time believed that in the darkness, the souls could return and witness the rituals taking place. Stories say that on long winter nights, strange winds could be heard echoing around the Stonehenge area, as if ancient souls were gathering to participate in a sacred ritual. Locals at that time believed that, if they were not careful, they could be caught in a time vortex, where the spirits of their ancestors could return and possess the bodies of the living during these rituals. 2. Paranormal events. Unexplained phenomena. The mysterious events that occurred at Stonehenge were not limited to ancient rituals. In fact, this place is one of the areas with the highest frequency of supernatural and unexplained phenomena. Although science has tried to explain, many researchers still have to admit that the strange things at Stonehenge are beyond human understanding. Mysterious disappearances. One of the most mysterious stories happened in 1985 when an archaeological team from the U.S. came to Stonehenge to conduct a major research. Some members of the team suddenly and mysteriously disappeared overnight. Only strange traces remained. The next morning, only the archaeological equipment remained, while the participants had disappeared without a trace. Subsequent searches could not explain this disappearance. Some even claimed that they might have been pulled into another dimension, where invisible beings or ancient forces were holding them. Since then, there have been many rumors and stories about people going missing here on strange nights, especially around important solar days, such as the summer or winter solstice. Strange echoes. Also during a survey in 2002, a group of researchers recorded strange and inexplicable sounds. When they placed microphones around Stonehenge at dusk, they began to hear whispers, as if voices were coming from the stones, even though no one was nearby. The recordings indicate that the sounds are not caused by wind or natural elements, but rather seem to come from an invisible source, causing listeners to feel an invisible presence. Some theories suggest that the sounds may be caused by magnetic waves or some undiscovered cosmic energy. 3. Modern rituals. Is Stonehenge still a bridge between worlds? Today, Stonehenge remains a spiritual center for those seeking a deeper understanding of the unseen world. Every year, thousands of people gather here to participate in modern rituals, some of which believe that they can communicate with spirits or experience spiritual journeys. Summer rituals. Some modern mystical organizations, including groups such as the Neo-Druids, hold large rituals at Stonehenge on the summer solstice. During these rituals, participants believe that they can be reborn or connected to cosmic energies through the presence of the ancient stones. There are strange sensations as participants feel a strong energy surrounding them, making them feel as if they have stepped out of time, communicating with the unseen world. Some people who participate in rituals at Stonehenge believe that they can communicate with the spirits of the deceased. These rituals often take place at night, when the light from candles or torches illuminates the stones, creating a mystical atmosphere. For the mysteries that remain. Despite modern scientific research and important archaeological discoveries, Stonehenge remains a land of unexplained things. Ancient rituals, supernatural events, and strange phenomena still invite people to come here, hoping to access the secrets that Stonehenge is hiding. Perhaps Stonehenge is not just an archaeological site, but also a door leading to other dimensions, where the physical and the invisible worlds blend together in a mysterious universe. Amazing! Chapter 8 explores the myths and theories surrounding Stonehenge, where ancient legends blend with modern scientific theories. We will enter the mystical world of stories about gods, mythical creatures, and mysterious theories about the true origin of Stonehenge. Chapter 8: Myths and Theories about Stonehenge, the story of gods and mysterious creatures. Stonehenge is not only a mysterious archaeological site, but also a land full of myths and legends. Over the centuries, cultures have woven mysterious stories around it, from ancient gods to mythical creatures. These stories not only reflect the human imagination, but also contain important clues about the purpose and origin of Stonehenge. Together, we will explore these hypotheses, the great myths and mythological theories of Stonehenge. 1. Myths about gods and heroes. Stonehenge has always been associated with ancient myths, especially in Celtic culture and the stories of ancient European civilizations. In these legends, Stonehenge is not just an architectural work, but a sacred place where mythological gods and heroes performed great rituals. The sun god, Bather, and the rituals of rebirth. One of the popular stories in Celtic and Druid legends is Bather, the sun god, who ruled over life and death. In this legend, Stonehenge is considered the place where Bather performed rituals of rebirth, bringing new life to spring and reviving the natural world. Rebirth rituals. On special occasions, shamans and druids performed rebirth rituals at Stonehenge, in which the summer solstice sunlight shone directly on the stone circle, as if Bather were giving life to the universe. They believed that through this ritual, a connection was established between the world of the gods and the world of humans, allowing for the renewal and rebirth of all living things on Earth. Stonehenge and Merlin. Merlin, the legendary wizard in Arthurian mythology, also had a close connection with Stonehenge. One of the most popular legends holds that Merlin was the builder of Stonehenge. According to the story, Merlin used his magic to transport the giant stones from Ireland, where they were known as giant stones. He then erected Stonehenge as a sacred monument to commemorate fallen warriors and as a place for mystical rituals. Ancient magic. According to legend, Merlin was not only a magician, but also a person who had the ability to communicate with gods and supernatural forces. This makes people believe that Stonehenge could be a spiritual feng shui construction, where the power of spirits and mystical forces are summoned. 2. Mysterious creatures and supernatural entities. In addition to the gods, Stonehenge is also associated with mystical creatures and supernatural entities that, according to legends, were once associated with this construction. Stories about these creatures have increased the mystery of Stonehenge in the eyes of the world. Dragons, legendary creatures. One of the most interesting stories is about dragons in Celtic mythology, creatures that are believed to be able to fly through dimensions. According to some legends, Stonehenge is a place where dragons gather to participate in supernatural rituals. These dragons may have been symbols of protection for sacred rituals, and provided strength and protection from the outside world. Symbol of protection and power. Dragons were considered to be creatures of the gods and could communicate with the gods through rituals at Stonehenge. They may have created a cosmic portal, allowing humans to cross the barriers between worlds, from the physical world to the spiritual world. Entities from other dimensions. Another mystical theory is that Stonehenge may be a dimensional intersection, where supernatural entities can enter this world from other universes. Stories say that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in ancient times and helped create structures like Stonehenge. These beings may have been extraterrestrial life forms with the ability to manipulate energy and matter in ways that humans cannot understand. Strange marks. The markings on the stones and the strange structures around Stonehenge have led some to believe that the monument is not only the work of humans, but also an interaction with supernatural entities. Phenomena, such as stone circles or unexplained marks, may be evidence of creatures object from another dimension. 3. Modern theories about Stonehenge, laying the foundation for mythological theories. Although archaeological studies have provided scientific theories about the uses of Stonehenge, there are still many unexplained factors that remain, making myths and mythological theories an indispensable part of the story of this structure. Ancient theories and the evolution of civilization. One of the modern scientific theories is that Stonehenge may be evidence of an advanced ancient civilization capable of understanding astronomy and physics that we have not yet been able to recover. The stones are perfectly aligned to track the movements of the sun and celestial bodies, which suggests that the builders of Stonehenge may have had superior knowledge of cosmic phenomena. A lost civilization. These have led to the theory that Stonehenge may be the remains of a long-lost civilization, one that may have known the intersection of science and the occult. 4. The mysteries that still wait to be solved. Tales of gods, mythical creatures, and supernatural entities continue to surround Stonehenge. Although scientists and archaeologists have made important discoveries, the mystery of Stonehenge's true purpose has yet to be fully solved. Perhaps, like the myths of old, we have only scratched the surface of an almost immortal story. Wonderful! Chapter 9 will delve into the influence of Stonehenge on modern culture, from art, pop culture, to spiritual trends and mystical movements in the 21st century. Although Stonehenge is an ancient structure, its appeal and influence continue to spread, leaving a strong impression on modern people. Chapter 9. Stonehenge in Modern Culture. The Legacy of an Eternal Symbol. Stonehenge is not only an ancient monument, but also a living cultural symbol in the modern world. Although built thousands of years ago, Stonehenge continues to captivate the imagination of people, from artists, filmmakers, to scientists, and those seeking to explore mysterious secrets. This structure is not only a symbol of connection with the universe, but also a symbol of inexplicable mystery, a model of the endless search for unanswered questions in life. 1. Stonehenge in art and pop culture. The influence of Stonehenge on contemporary art. Stonehenge has become an icon in contemporary art, used by many artists as an inspiration for their works. From paintings, sculptures, to digital artworks, the image of these giant stones and mysterious stone circles always has an irresistible appeal. Famous artists such as John Piper and David Hockney have used Stonehenge as inspiration to create famous paintings, not only depicting the beauty of the structure, but also creating a space full of magic and mystery. These works highlight the intertwining of nature and man, as well as explore the relationship between physical and spiritual space. Modern sculpture and art are also influenced by Stonehenge. Some modern works, such as the sculptures of Andy Goldsworthy, use stone and nature to recreate the image of Stonehenge, making viewers feel the intersection between man and the universe, as well as the infinity of time that this structure symbolizes. Stonehenge and music. Music is also not immune to the influence of Stonehenge. Many famous bands and artists have incorporated the image and mystery of Stonehenge into their music. The Rolling Stones. This legendary band released an album called Stonehenge, in which the symbol of Stonehenge is used as an affirmation of the immortality and power of music. Stonehenge in this album is not only an ancient structure, but also a symbol of confrontation with the limits of time and rebirth. Electric Light Orchestra. Yellow Yellow's works also frequently refer to Stonehenge as a cosmic symbol. In the album Out of the Blue, they use the image of Stonehenge to describe a mystical musical space where music and the universe blend. 2. Stonehenge and modern spiritual theories. In the 21st century, Stonehenge is not only seen as an archaeological site, but also an important spiritual center, attracting thousands of people to participate in spiritual ceremonies. For many people, this place is not only an ancient structure, but a gateway connecting the physical world and the spiritual world, a place that can help heal and explore other dimensions. Neo-Druid movement and Sun Festival. One of the modern spiritual movements that has been strongly influenced by Stonehenge is Neo-Druidism. This is a movement that worships the forces of nature and practices the ancient rituals of the ancient Druids. Followers of this movement believe that Stonehenge is not only a place of worship, but also a place of communication between humans and the spirits of their ancestors. The summer solstice and the spring equinox are important occasions in the year when Neo-Druids gather at Stonehenge to worship the sun and perform rebirth rituals. On these days, they not only welcome the return of the sun, but also believe that they can communicate with supernatural forces. The seekers of the universe's secrets. In addition to spiritual movements, Stonehenge is also a center of attraction for those seeking the mysteries of the universe. Paranormal research groups regularly organize expeditions to Stonehenge, believing that it may be a gateway to other dimensions. Strange magnetic energy. Some modern studies suggest that Stonehenge may be located on a powerful magnetic field network, where supernatural energies can be emitted. These research groups believe that these strange energy currents can create changes in human consciousness, causing them to experience special spiritual states. UFO researchers also believe that Stonehenge may have been a base for extraterrestrial beings, and that these beings built Stonehenge to leave their mark on Earth. 3. Stonehenge in film and pop culture. Stonehenge has also made a strong mark in the film industry, from classic films to modern television shows. The image of Stonehenge, with its mysterious stones standing in the middle of the vast space, always creates a mysterious and attractive atmosphere. Stonehenge in the movies. Stonehenge Apocalypse. This movie puts forward a theory that Stonehenge is not only a construction of ancient people, but maybe a construction of aliens, with the purpose of opening a portal to the universe. The images of giant stones are used to create a mysterious space where the physical world and the universe can intersect. The Da Vinci Code. Although not directly related to Stonehenge, this movie has exploited the themes of ancient secrets and mysterious constructions, making Stonehenge even more of a pop culture symbol of the undiscovered. Pop culture. Stonehenge has also appeared in songs, music videos, and television shows, serving as a symbol of mystery. This prominence has only added to Stonehenge's appeal in the modern world, making it not only a historical site, but also an integral part of popular culture. 4. The inspiration and future of Stonehenge. Despite the many studies and theories about Stonehenge, its appeal continues to grow, as the unsolved mysteries of this monument remain a source of endless inspiration for those seeking a deeper understanding of humanity, the universe, and the supernatural. Great! Chapter 10 explores the future of Stonehenge and the latest research and discoveries. Then, we wrap up the whole story of Stonehenge, reflecting on what has been discovered, the secrets yet to be revealed, and its enduring presence in human culture. Chapter 10. The future of Stonehenge, new research and discoveries. Despite being thousands of years old, Stonehenge remains one of the most fascinating and mysterious archaeological wonders of mankind. With each passing century, more research and discoveries are made about the monument, from modern archaeological technologies to new theories about Stonehenge's origins and purposes. Together, let's explore the future of Stonehenge, where modern science and myth continue to blend. 1. New research and modern technology methods. With the development of archaeological technology, researchers today can apply modern methods to discover the previously unknown secrets of Stonehenge. Technologies such as 3D laser scanning, geophysical surveys, and DNA analysis have helped open up new discoveries, making Stonehenge more mysterious and attractive than ever. Laser scanning and magnetic field analysis. One of the latest technologies used in Stonehenge research is 3D laser scanning. This technology allows archaeologists to create detailed maps of the structure and its surroundings without having to excavate. In this way, researchers can discover undiscovered traces, underground structures, and faint traces that no one has seen before. Unexpected discovery. One of the recent discoveries is the strange magnetic traces around Stonehenge. These traces not only suggest that the structure may have been built with a deep understanding of magnetic fields, but may also indicate that Stonehenge had a special role in communicating with supernatural forces. DNA analysis and the search for the origin of the stones. Researchers have also used DNA analysis techniques to find out about the origin of the stones. By analyzing samples from different areas, they have discovered that the stones did not all originate from a single area. Some stones, especially the larger ones, were transported from the Preseli Hills area in Wales, more than 200 kilometers away from Stonehenge. The supernatural theory. Some researchers have suggested that the stones may have been selected because they contain special energy or because of the spiritual significance they carry. However, the question of the exact purpose of transporting these stones remains a mystery. 2. Stonehenge and spiritual exploration. One of the new and exciting areas of research on Stonehenge is the spiritual aspect. Despite the many scientific and archaeological theories, the mystical and spiritual aspects of Stonehenge continue to be a strong inspiration for research and spiritual movements. Exploring the relationship between man and the universe. A recent study has shown that Stonehenge may not only be an astronomical structure, but also a channel connecting man and the universe. Researchers have found that the arrangement of the stones at Stonehenge may correspond to the positions of stars and special stars in the night sky. Connections with other civilizations. These discoveries have opened up the hypothesis that Stonehenge may have been an astronomical structure linked to other civilizations, such as the ancient Egyptians or the Babylonians, who also placed great importance on understanding astronomy and cosmology. Spiritual and occult festivals. In the modern world, Stonehenge continues to be a place for spiritual festivals and mystical rituals. Days such as the summer solstice and spring equinox are special occasions where thousands of people gather at the structure to feel the energy and sacredness it brings. This further enhances the power of Stonehenge as a symbol of the connection between humans and the universe, as well as an eternal spiritual temple. 3. Preservation and protection of Stonehenge in the future. Stonehenge is not only an important archaeological heritage, but also a symbol of the connection between humans and nature, between humans and the universe. In the future, this work will continue to attract the attention of scientists, artists, and those seeking the mystical. However, the preservation of Stonehenge is also facing great challenges. Increasing tourism and human impact. One of the great challenges facing Stonehenge is the increase in tourism. Every year, millions of people visit, causing the landscape around Stonehenge to be affected. The preservation and protection of this work will require great efforts from the international community and conservation agencies. Continuous exploration and research. Despite much research and preservation, Stonehenge remains one of the most archaeological wonders never cease to arouse curiosity and exploration. Researchers continue to search for new answers and unsolved mysteries, and Stonehenge will continue to be an eternal symbol in the minds of humanity. Finale, an eternal legacy. Stonehenge is not just an archaeological site, but also a living symbol of the connection between the past and the present, between humans and the universe. Over thousands of years, it has stood firm, preserving the secrets of an ancient civilization that we still cannot fully understand. Each stone, each trace carries within it an untold story, an unsolved secret. In the future, Stonehenge will continue to be a source of inspiration for those seeking to understand the universe, time, and mysterious forces. More than just an archaeological site, Stonehenge is a symbol of immortality, a connection between the past, present, and future.